Okay, let's dive right in. We're about to explore a digital gold rush, a marketplace that moves so incredibly fast it makes Wall Street look like it's stuck in slow motion. This really is a whole new frontier for finance. Just look at this number, $18.21 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That's more than the entire annual economic output of dozens of countries.
And here's the kicker. This isn't the New York Stock Exchange we're talking about. That massive figure, that's the amount of money changing hands on decentralized crypto exchanges, or DEXs, in just a single day. It's a brand new financial playground, and right now it is absolutely exploding.
So what are people buying and selling with all this serious cash? Well, get ready for this. We've got tokens named Elon Musk, Donald Dump, and yep, even Bernie Sanders. It's this bizarre, almost surreal mix of high-stakes finance and pure internet satire, where billions of dollars are chasing assets that are, quite literally, jokes.
Honestly, it can feel like pure chaos. So to even begin to make sense of it all, we've got to focus. We're going to zoom in and do a case study on just one of these thousands and thousands of new tokens.
Let's just pick one out of the sea of madness. How about a token called LOL? It's a pretty perfect example to help us get a handle on the mechanics and the sheer madness of this new market.
First off, a real quick definition for anyone who might be new to this corner of the internet. LOL is what's known as a meme coin, and at its core, it's exactly what it sounds like, a cryptocurrency born from an internet meme or some kind of funny idea, not from some complicated 50-page technical white paper.
And check this out. This quote from CoinMarketCap just perfectly illustrates the concept. The whole idea behind the LOL token is to literally tokenize the internet's most universal expression. Think about that. They're taking an abstract cultural idea, the act of laughing out loud online, and they're turning it into a tradable financial asset. It's wild.
Now, what's really interesting is how these tokens try to build trust right from the get-go. You'll see terms like fair launch, no special early access for insiders, no tokens set aside for the team. The creators even renounce ownership of the contract. All of this is designed to send a signal to say, hey, the game isn't rigged. It's all about creating this sense of a level playing field, and that's a huge part of the appeal.
But a fair launch definitely doesn't mean it's stable. Not even close. Just look at this 5-day history. It's a complete roller coaster. On March 31st, it jumps almost 50%. The very next day, it hits its all-time high before dipping, recovering, and then sliding all over again. This insane volatility is where fortunes can be made and, just as easily, lost in a matter of hours.
And if the volatility wasn't enough, here's another massive risk you have to be aware of. You look on one platform, and a token named LOL is trading for a fraction of a penny. But on another exchange, a different, totally unrelated token, also called LOL, is trading for a price that's like 45 times lower. This is a huge problem in this space. It creates a minefield of confusion for anyone trying to trade. So, that's the what. We've seen what this world looks like. Now for the why. Why is this meme coin explosion happening on one specific blockchain, Solana? And why is it happening right now? Let's really break this down. What is it about this particular piece of technology that has made it ground zero for this entire phenomenon? Well, it really comes down to a perfect storm of factors. First, the Solana network is seeing this huge surge in new users. Second, there's just a ton of positive activity and transactions happening on the chain. And maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, the transaction fees are incredibly low. That makes it cheap enough for basically anyone to create and trade thousands of these experimental tokens without going broke. So when you put all of that together, tons of activity and a near zero cost to play, what do you get? You get the perfect breeding ground. It's like a digital petri dish for a whole new kind of financial speculation and super fast, chaotic innovation. Okay, so we've seen the chaos and we understand the cause, but how in the world do you actually navigate it? We need some kind of framework, right? A way to tell a potential opportunity from what might just be a trap. I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When thousands of new tokens are popping up, literally every single day, how can you possibly tell if one is the next big thing or just a digital dead end waiting to take your money? You know, in the world of traditional stock investing, there's this concept called a value trap. It describes a stock that looks like a total bargain based on its past numbers, but in reality, it's a failing business that's on its way to zero.
But here's the twist. With meme coins, that idea doesn't quite work. The fundamentals aren't declining because in most cases, they were never even there to begin with. So this isn't a value trap, it's something else. Let's call it a hype trap, where the only thing holding up the price is pure attention and momentum.
And this table right here, this is our framework. It's basically a checklist of red flags. Let's walk through it. First up, market sentiment. A real project might hit a rough patch, some temporary pessimism. But a hype trap? That's defined by a long-term gloom that's totally justified because there's nothing real there. Next, development. Is anyone actually building anything? A real project is growing. A hype trap has crickets. Then the community. Is it active, constructive, people actually talking? Or is it just an echo chamber of to the moon that goes silent the second the price dips? What about the team? Are they real people with a strategy? Or are they just anonymous accounts who disappear when things get tough? And finally, and this one is so important, token utility. Does the token actually do anything? Does it have a purpose beyond just being bought and sold? These are the questions that can help you separate a real project from a hype trap.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's try to pull this all together. What are the key lessons we can take away from this wild journey into the digital frontier?
I think this quote really grounds everything we've talked about. It's so simple, but so true. The goal isn't just to find something that looks cheap. The goal is to find something that is actually good, something with real potential, no matter what the price tag says.
So here are the big takeaways. Number 1, this market is defined by extreme, stomach-churning volatility. 2, hype is powerful, and it can create these convincing mirages of value that aren't actually there. 3, the low-cost tech of blockchains like Solana is the engine that makes all this chaotic innovation possible. And finally, and maybe most importantly, you have to always ask why something seems like a bargain.
And that leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending question to chew on. In a world where human attention is becoming the most valuable currency of all, if millions of people are paying attention to a joke, what really is the difference between that joke and a valuable asset? It's definitely something to think about.